And when aliens were thought of, they were sort of more this kind of, originally there was maybe more like elf-like figure or this more fantastical creature, and then when we started to go to space they were wearing spacesuits and these sort of things, and now they've come into this kind of the alien grey, the typical quite tall, quite slim, sort of primate-looking creature with often a large head and very large eyes, no nose or very small nose on the mouth. And these are reported to have been seen by many people, but thankfully, due to our knowledge of evolution, we can pretty much discount these because, as I'm sure you'll tell us in a minute, this alien grey is a life form that's so unlikely to ever happen again in the universe under the laws of natural selection.
Certainly we could say that if intelligent life is so widespread throughout the universe that perhaps there would be bipedal primates that would have evolved to a somewhat similar extent as we have on Earth, but this idea of the grey alien is almost predicted from a human perspective of where the human species is going to develop sometime in the future. I sincerely doubt that we will become more gray, start becoming homogeneous in our appearance, because part of who we are as humans now is finding or appreciating the diversity that exists within a culture, not only in terms of art and language, but also in terms of appearance, that we appreciate the idea of seeing someone with a different skin color, with a different hairstyle. We appreciate this diversity consciously, not just on an evolutionary level, because there's an evolutionary advantage to appreciating and welcoming diversity. But it appears as though our conscience is even saying that we wish to see people who are different from ourselves. We want to experience different lifestyles. And so I think it's very naive to say that we are, although there occasionally you get the odd political thinker who believes that through allowing interracial marriage will eventually develop into this homogeneous race, everybody looks the same, which is ridiculous on so many levels, especially on a biological level. I don't think that's ever going to happen. But certainly the images of aliens that we predict are predicted from a human point of view rather than a cosmic evolutionary point of view. Now, you could make the argument that bipedalism is the only way forward, but that to me seems a bit naive as well, and there are some evolutionary biologists who disagree with this, but I take an approach to evolutionary theory as though it's a contingent process, that these incredibly complex organs, especially limbs, because limbs are very complex. There are so many points in our evolutionary history in which if one thing had developed differently for whatever adaptive reason, we may not operate in the same way that we do today. So it's very unlikely that the images that have been presented to us about what aliens look like are accurate, not only because it would be a great coincidence that they correlate to a prediction made on a human perspective, but from an evolutionary point of view, the contingency of evolution seems to rule out that all these purely human characteristics would be independently involved by every intelligent alien civilization, or at least in some, and that would be the alien civilization that would come and visit us. It seems incredibly unlikely, certainly not perhaps impossible, but very unlikely that this would be the case, and it does cause us to approach the idea with a bit more skepticism rather than belief.
Absolutely. And I think one thing we perhaps missed out that is still quite important to latching aliens onto culture is they're big money makers. For many of the reasons you've actually just outlined. It would appear that the combination of the want to find another race out there, the want to feel significant, the want to join in a kind of homogeneous intergalactic relationship, all these feelings can latch together, and a lot of people have become very rich off aliens. And if that's the only form of extraterrestrial contact we're going to have in our lifetime, it's unfortunate, but it's probably a lot more realistic. The way to continue is to try and find them and hope that they're doing the same, rather than wait for them to come to us, I think.
Certainly. And the approach that we outlined in the beginning, that we approached through SETI, the Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence, by broadcasting radio signals, the new emerging fields of astrobiology and astrogeology, give us concrete ways of examining the question that were never available to humans who asked very similar questions throughout the entire history of the human species. Certainly with the rise of technology now, we're given the incredible opportunity to participate in this search. You can actually go to the SETI website and download a program that, while your computer goes into screensaver, you receive information that SETI has picked up, radio signals, and actually decode them. Your computer aids in the decoding of these radio signals to separate the noise from perhaps the genuine contact. We haven't found any genuine signals that could have been emitted from an extraterrestrial civilization yet. But isn't that such an inspiring idea to think that you yourself, a non-scientist, can play a part in the search for extraterrestrial intelligence. It certainly reflects the idea that this question is very innate, and the best way to approach this question is through science rather than looking at the occasional grainy photograph. It provides certainly a temporary sense of satisfaction and excitement, but once that photograph is revealed as a fake, it's not very motivating. What seems to be much more motivating is looking up to the night sky and realizing that there are scientists actively engaged in discovering which stars you see are actually part of a system that may contain planets which may contain the right conditions to support life, perhaps even intelligent life. That seems a much more wondrous, rational approach to take, and one that certainly should be taken with the opportunities presented in this society. As some cosmologists have said, there's no other period in human history they would like to live through. We are on the brink now of approaching this question purely from a scientific standpoint. And although you may get a temporary sense of excitement and your curiosity may be aroused from time to time by watching the videos of extraterrestrials visiting Earth and seeing the grainy photograph and hearing the stories, it's insignificant compared to the amazing research that's going on from astrobiology, astrogeology, and the theories that have come out of SETI. So thank you very much for watching. If you're interested in extraterrestrial intelligence, alien encounters, or anything relating to science, pseudoscience, skepticism, reasonable doubt, anything like that, please be sure to go to scienceofreason.org. As we mentioned, this is one of the public outreach projects that is sponsored by the Society for Science of Reason. We hope to upload many more videos like this over the coming week. So thank you very much for watching. And again, please go to scienceofreason.org. Be sure to subscribe to us as well on YouTube by going to youtube.com/scienceofreason. Thank you very much.
Thank you.